Happy Sunday, everybody! This video is going to be focused on a little subject. It's basically like the history, data, information when it comes to Marvel Contest. And in particular, the thing that always interests me is how many playable champions are of each individual class. Now, I started off this series a little while ago. I think that I did this back in 2020, but I always keep this information here, which is, and this is a really important reference point, what was happening in July 2021. In July 2021, we had champions of Cosmic, Mutant, Science, Mystic, Skill, Tech, all around just below 40 mark. More so when it came to Cosmic. Cosmic's always been the big push of the high volume of champions, and Kabam seemed to put out loads of Cosmic champions, leaving ones like Mystic very much far behind. And the same thing with Tech, always feels like them and Science always kind of feel a little bit left behind when it comes to Skill, Mutant, and of course Cosmic. So what's happened in a year? How has this changed? What's been added to the game? Has there been any kind of impact on this stuff? Let's kind of explore this in this video. Now, between the points of making the data that I did, that kind of little tally back in July, some champions have been added to it, of course, especially when you can see the extensive Mystic editions, and as well the massive Cosmic editions that came in the October, November kind of winter time. That is sort of like a big kind of injection of 3, and Mutant is already and has been going strong, with Science lacking a little bit, especially from that kind of well, you can see 1, 2, and 3. Especially if you look down here, okay, Science Science recently was April 2022, and we had Scorpion put in, and then since then, October 14th, 2021 was when Anti-Venom was put into the game. So there's a big jump. That's November, December, January, February, March, April, 6 months of and in that time there's 12 champions that would have been added into the game in that time. So you can see that's a big kind of loss in number, whereas every other kind of class has been given a little bit of injection each and every time. But it's certainly be interesting to kind of figure out what's been added to the game, and also what classes are lacking. The main thing that people might go what's the point, Rich? Well, what's the point? Should I care? Absolutely. Okay. A lot of times you need champions for different types of things. You may be going okay, well, I need an option for a champion to take against certain content. You might need a Mystic champion that's got the slow debuff. You may need a bleed immune Science champion, or you need a Tech that has got some sort of heal block thing. Again, I'm just throwing kind of things out of my mind of ideas where you need counters for scenarios. And a lot of the time with MCOC and the way we kind of grind out is we're always looking for counters for scenarios. So having new champions put in, especially of this a class, and you're kind of going, okay, well, I need something. Not so much nowadays. The only kind of exception to that is the way that Kabam have nerfed a lot of things like Act 6, and especially when it comes to the gating system of 6.2, it definitely kind of pinpoints a situation of we don't need that particular scenario anymore because Kabam are moving away from it. But still, it is important to go into different types of things. You're not going to take a class disadvantage champion, or you wouldn't like to take a class disadvantage champion against a boss that maybe would have something that's, say, a class advantage version. So, you going up, you have a Cosmic enemy boss, and you're taking a Mystic, and you're okay, well, that would be good to have a Mystic version of a champion that would have the slow debuff, or have this counter, or that counter, or that counter, or another counter, and all those lovely things. So that's really kind of the point I'm kind of getting to with that one. But as I said, it's been a long time. Where are we up to with additions? Now, the great thing about this particular site here, which is the Marvel Wiki, is that you can sort them by the various different types of classes. So you can just click the class button, and it will just sort it based on classes, and you can see new ones coming in that have come in over the stretch over the time. So playable champions, it then adds up to a big list. A big amount of additions. Now, what I've done is we're going to look at the totals, but also look at potential champions that could come in the future, which could change and shape the way that we are seeing, what we're seeing. So, I've got the totals here. So based on a few additions, so what I've done is I've totaled up all the extras that have been put in, which I've got a loads of spreadsheets here, blah 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 blah. They kind of add up to numbers. The numbers at the side, they're assigned to a number. That's kind of that explained in a nutshell. So based on this, and you know, I may have got this wrong, but based on playable champions and specifically to classes, 44 Cosmic. Now, I'm just going to bring this down. These two champions here, Gore the God Butcher and Valkyrie, will be important to us in a moment. We'll go back to that and what that means. But you can see the changes, the shift. So in a year, we've added 4 tech champions to the game, going up to 35. 3 more skill champions, meaning, and that includes Valkyrie. I think that includes Valkyrie. I want to say no, it doesn't. Okay, that's kind of one addition I can make. 4 skill champions. So there we go, up to 38. Mystic 36, adding 6 champions. I think that's very important. That's a little bit significant, especially because for the first time in a long time, Mystic champion volume has gone higher than tech and science. That hasn't happened in a very long time. Science have had 4 champions added in the last year. As I said, we went for a 6-month drought of nothing being added, but I think more is going to come in the future, especially with, you know, how I think Sandman's coming into game. Mutant have had 5 additions, and Cosmic have had 5 additions. Funnily enough, Cosmics have only had 2 additions in 2022, which is a bit of a surprise because, you know, they've had a lot of injections of champions, especially from July 2021. We're seeing the likes of Hercules, and then having that massive kind of 3 that were added in October, November, the kind of winter months. So that was kind of like quite a big kind of like jump right there. But the next thing we need to go on to is what could we see in the future to add to the totals that could be like adding to this in 2022. So like by the end of 2022, it's, what is it? It's July next month. So it's now, sorry, July's this month. So we have got August, September, October, November, December. We've got 5 months. In that time, we'll have 8, 9 for December. So that's kind of like 9 total that we'll be seeing. We know that we can just put a lock in here to say Science Champions is up to 36. How are we doing that, Rich? Well, that's because we have had Quicksilver confirmed. So that's 1 champion confirmed. So that's where we are with the totals for that. So it does kind of up our playable to, I think it's like, yeah, it's like 231, including the combined, which is the little summon symbiote. So the future, okay, what champions can be added in to kind of like bump up the totals? Well, you know, we've talked about Thor, Love and Thunder, Gore the God Butcher. We've just added Valkyrie, obviously, to that total, which I forgot to do. And also, like, in the future, maybe we'll see like certain kind of like random champions. This is from an MCC wishlist blog thing back from last year. We do have loads of other champions in this the Summoner's Choice, which do have some kind of, you know, random champions. Warpath was definitely on there. I think Danny Moonstar was, and a few others as well. So you could see like any number of mutants being added in to the mix, and I think that we'll go with an average 4 addition. Expect something, I reckon, in September, especially this year. If you kind of like look at the extent of mutant additions, we have had there we go. So March we had 1, January we had 1, 3 so far, and also following the scheme of things of how it's been in the past, we could see something in September, maybe 1 mutant champion, so that kind of adds up, and maybe 1 other one for this year. Apart from that, I don't think there'll be anything more than that, because Kabam seems to be going from like 3 a year with mutants, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This may be the first year in a little while. They may go 4, but we'll have to see. There was a 4 influx in 2019, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, it could happen. We could see it, or we could see the 2018, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a lot. I think it's a little bit unrealistic to think that we can get more than 3. I think, well, 4, anything more than 4. I think 4 we'll have this year personally. But J-Ax has been very good at kind of predicting some champions coming in. There's a Herald. I think it's Quicksilver's a Herald, so there's going to be one other champion that's going to be coming soon, and we could see indeed any of these characters. We could see 2 additional skill champions based on based on Wakanda Forever. We could see a Cosmic for December, adding up the total. We could see any Spider-Verse based characters being added into the game. We could see 2 Spider-Verse villains. I think that's 2 sciences. And then September being, you know, maybe 1 Cosmic, 1 Tech, or double Cosmic. Not double Cosmic, 1 mutant, 1 other champion in order to fit the bill. Either way, the injection of more than the injection of new champions, and especially in the areas of what I hope to be science. I reckon science is going to go up quite a lot. I think we'll see that. You know, it's 36 with Quicksilver. It's probably going to put it up to at least 38. And then when it comes to things like tech, I haven't seen much of the hype for tech. I reckon there's going to be at least a couple sneaky techs that are coming in the future. But what those champions will be, don't know. There's plenty of techs out there for Kabam to choose. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment when it comes to playable champions in the specific different types of classes. Yes, the Science 36 includes Quicksilver. Yes, Skill includes Valkyrie at 38. And in Cosmic, yes, includes Gore the God Butcher. Where do you think, what extra champions do you think are going to be added into the game in the future as well? Put in the comment section, because then it's going to be interesting to see, you know, where people think that the additions are going to be going. And what will be, because that's it, Cosmic is not going to be caught up. What also do you think is going to be the second or even third? I think more with the third highest class per champions playable in it. That's also the most interesting. But Cosmic's always winning, always winning. But yeah, that's been a video, a little bit of a dissection type style video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something a little bit. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Check out some other content located on screen right now. Keep up to date with some of the information come out from July update. I'll see you soon. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.